Hey, I'm back. I'm going to do a little coffee comparison, but also a little how-to. So I just got done doing a coffee video and I used my frother, and you can see on the bottom there, let's see. Okay, see that line that I made with the spoon? So there's a kind of a skin on the bottom. And here's the thing. If I heat up, if I make more heated froth in this, it could end up sort of little bit toasting that milk that's on the bottom, because even though there's a whisk in there that spins the milk around, that's like a sort of a skin or sediment that's stuck to the bottom of the coffee frother right now. Okay, so it's going to get an especially, more amount of heat than the stuff that's swirling around. So this is how I am going to deal with that. Certainly, yeah, I could wash the coffee frother out. I'm going to take my same glass that I used for the coffee I just made and give it a rinse because, I'm going to make a new kind of coffee here. Okay, and this is what I'm going to do next, okay? I'm going to get out some milk. This is almond milk, okay? And I'm going to pour some in here. There, that looks like a good amount. That's probably maybe 3.5 ounces. This is called a recipe glass. And I'm figuring, I was wondering, are the little indentations in it for your fingers, or are they quantities? I don't know, because I've measured how much goes to each indentation, but I can never remember. So it doesn't do me much good, right? So, okay, I'm going to put it into the microwave, and I'm going to heat it up for 30 seconds. And then I'm going to use a feature on my milk frother that most milk frothers have, which is the cold froth, okay? So it spins the milk around, but it doesn't use the heater. And that way I'm not heating up or, reheating that layer that's stuck to the bottom of it. But I've got warm milk. I haven't dirtied up another container, okay? Haven't had to stop and wash the coffee frother. Okay, so in it goes. Put the lid on. And, okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's a blue light instead of a red light, which means that it's doing a cold froth. So the coffee that earlier that I had was the Infiniment Double Espresso, okay? Which is the holiday blend that Nespresso came out with for this year, 2023. By the way, it's Tuesday, January 10th, 2023. Okay, here I have got Bianco Doppio, all right? So this also is a double espresso, and it's made for milk. Okay, so I'm getting my milk frothed up here, and what I'm going to do, actually I should take, you know what? Now I'm gonna go ahead and taste it with the milk because, well, honestly, oh dear. First I should taste it without the milk. I should have frothed second. Oh my goodness. Well, I do these things with you for the first time and figuring them out as I go. All right. I'll go ahead quick brew the coffee and give it a taste, and hopefully my froth won't start to dissipate, because the froth does some of the milk settles out after a little while, but this shouldn't take too long. So what I'm doing is I'm comparing two double espressos, the Infiniment and the Bianco Doppio. Keeping in mind, of course, that the Bianco Doppio is made for milk. I like the Infiniment Double Espresso Black better than I did with milk. It's rather intense, and I don't know, there was just a taste to it that when I put the milk in was kind of missing. Okay, so here we go. Alrighty. Almost done. Okay. Alrighty. So that Christmas blend was very, very intense in a good way, though. No, this is definitely not as intense, not as complex. Definitely not. Okay, I would not want to drink this black. Okay, so here we go. Alrighty. Now, you know, normally I like to extract my coffee into the milk or the milk froth, but for the purposes of being able to give a little taste test without the milk, you know, I did it the opposite way. Just makes a little bit of a richer froth if you extract the coffee into the milk instead of putting the milk or the froth in afterwards. Okay, here we go. Okay, so you know what? Here's the thing. To me, comparing, all right, let me get the 2 capsules. Okay, where is it? Is this it? Okay. Comparing this one, the Holiday Blend Double Espresso, to the Bianco Doppio, it's like comparing apples and oranges, okay? This tasted better to me black. This was made to drink with milk, and in fact, it does taste better with milk, but they're like completely different tastes. That's why I say it's like comparing apples to oranges. Each one has its own peculiarities. That doesn't sound right. They're not peculiar. Has their own... Sometimes when I get nervous, I can't think of a word. You know, qualities. It's almost like they have personalities that are completely different. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let me put these back in. And I found that when I put the milk in the Infiniment Double Espresso, that I wanted some sort of sweetness with it and some kind of flavoring. And let me give this another try here. You know, sometimes I found that if you have an intense coffee first and then you have one that's not as intense right afterwards, it may be a little bit harder to appreciate the second coffee that's not quite as intense. And I'm finding that because I almost still have on my tongue the taste of the Infiniment Double Espresso. Let me try this again. This is just so delightful with the milk. You know, I don't feel like it needs any sweetener. I feel like putting sweetener in it would take something away from it. Nonetheless, I am going to put in a Splenda. You know, it's interesting. Before I started drinking Nespresso coffee, when I would have a cup of coffee, I would put in Sweet and Low and Equal and a Splenda. Yeah, like, you know, in a regular cup of coffee. And then when I started drinking the Nespresso, I started appreciating so much things in coffee that I never noticed before because they just weren't there. You know, that they were just, the coffee was made to be, I'm not going to use the word mediocre. It was made to appeal to a large segment of the population and had just not too strong, not too weak, you know. But the Nespresso has so many different flavors, and it's not because they add flavors, it's because these are characteristics. That's the word I was looking for before. These are characteristics of the natural coffee bean that they're made from and how that bean is treated, you know, how it's sort of cured and processed and roasted and all that kind of stuff. So I started, you know, becoming sensitive to that sort of stuff. And where was I going with this? Oh, so now there are lots of times I don't use sweetener at all because I'm just so enjoying the taste of the coffee. And also, I don't need, like, I can just put in one Splenda instead of a Splenda, a sweet and low and an equal. That would be a yellow and a pink and a blue. I can detect the sweetness with just one Splenda. Okay, but I will say that, well, let me think. Okay, again, adding sweetener has blanded out some of the flavor of this. Now, you may like it better that way because, you know, I'm telling you, there's some flavor now that I can't detect. I cannot detect because of the sweetener. But it's still got flavor and you may like that flavor. So there's nothing wrong with putting sweetener in. You know, like part of the enjoyment of coffee is doing it the way you like it, right? That's something I find exciting and fun to try. Well, I'm not going to put anything else in here. Oh, or should I put some cloves? No, I'm just going to enjoy this the way it is. See, I got out my little spice basket and I was looking, oh, I'll have to start trying some more spices, you know, in coming mornings doing this coffee thing. Well, listen, I hope you have a wonderful day and that you choose to enjoy whatever it is that comes your way, that you figure out some way to enjoy or benefit from it. You know, the saying, either I succeed or I learn.